Good morning everyone, it's Monday the 19th of February 2024. It's around 6:30 in the morning and obviously I'm starting my morning run. Now in this video I'm going to talk to you about parkrun and in particular a decision that's been made by the administrative people in parkrun. And if you don't want to know about that, turn the volume down and enjoy the scenery. So, parkrun is run by a governing body in the United Kingdom, and they own the rights to the brand and there's images and stuff like that. And one of the things that they do is help every parkrun to set up and run its website. All the websites look the same, except for the page that talks about a particular event course, and there you'll find a map of the course, information about how to get there, parking and so on. But everything else on any parkrun site is exactly the same. And up until very recently, in the previous week or so, on every parkrun website, there was information about the fastest male finisher, the fastest female finisher, and the fastest age graded finisher. And if you look down the results tab, you would see an under 17s option. That didn't refer to the number of under 17-year-olds, but to the number of people who had completed that particular course in under 17 minutes. Now, the governing body made a decision to remove all that information from parkrun sites, and it would no longer be collected and made available. They did this They said, according to various news sources where I read it, because they said that people were being discouraged from participating in parkrun by seeing that information. So according to their explanation, some people who thought they might do parkrun had seen the fastest time, thought they couldn't compete with it, and decided that they wouldn't go. Or maybe they'd even gone a couple of times and then seen that information, as they paid more attention to the website or something, and decided they'd no longer go. Now, your first response might be, well, I didn't know this information was here. I'm no worse off not than I was before you told me about it. I don't care about that. I'll still go to parkrun each Saturday. And I guess that's what parkrun want you to do, because they say that it's an inclusive event, that you should do for your health, and that abilities and finishing times and records don't matter, and they're not what parkrun's about. Those are the facts. This information has been removed. Now, the reaction has been almost entirely negative, but it's also brought out some other interesting responses. One response from a think tank in the United Kingdom, which I think is called Policy Exchange, was to say that the real reason they did it was because at least 3 parkrun events in the UK, out of I think 600, the record for the fastest female finisher was held by a transgender person. And simply what they mean by that, when that term is used, it means that someone who was born male but now identifies as female holds that record. And then when I looked into it a bit further, I saw there were claims that up to 20 age grade records in the UK were allegedly also held by transgender people, if that's the right term for them. I don't want to get into a discussion about transgender issues because I don't know enough about it, and it's not the purpose of what I want to talk about, which is not to say it's not important. It's just that I don't have enough information, and as I said, it's not the point I want to talk about in relation to this decision. But I should say this. When you register for parkrun, you're asked to indicate your gender, and there are 4 choices: male, female, I'd rather not say, or other gender. Now, just like any other feature of your profile, you can go and edit that at any time. And you might wonder, well, why would you do that? Well, supposing you started parkrun as a bit of a fun thing. A few of your friends had heard about it and said, well, why don't you come down and do this thing? Okay, sounds a good idea. And you did. And then you're enjoying it so much, you're registered and all that, you decided you'd be a bit more serious about running. And you joined a running club. So you went back to your profile and you edited it to include the running club so that they got some credit and recognition every time you did a parkrun. In the same way, someone could have registered themselves when they started parkrun as a male, or when I'll start that again. When someone started parkrun, they registered themselves as male. Now, as I understand, it's a thing that happens. And I'm not trying to trivialise this. I honestly don't have enough information or understanding of it all to make informed comment. But at some point in the time that a person was doing parkrun, they decided that they wanted to identify as a woman. And so they went back into their profile and changed their gender nomination to female. Now, I suppose the computer logs at parkrun headquarters would know if you'd done that, but I don't know if anyone at parkrun headquarters is employed to monitor that sort of stuff. So I don't know if they know or not. When someone changes any information on their profile, they might get divorced, so they revert to their maiden name, or unmarried name, should I say. They might remarry and want to register under that name and so on. So I don't know if parkrun knows about that or not. I should say at this point, I'm sort of rambling around a bit, that all of this that I'm talking about has nothing to do with the people who volunteer at your local parkrun every Saturday morning. They're all, as I just said, volunteers. They have no influence over the decisions that are made at head office. And when it comes to gender or any other aspect of your identity for that matter, the run director on Saturday morning doesn't have any capacity to check that, doesn't do so, and I would imagine would be in breach of some privacy law if they started asking questions about a person's gender identity or anything else like that. So the point is, what parkrun do or do not know about you each Saturday morning as you run out the 5k, or what the person at the run director at each parkrun event knows about you is probably pretty limited and should remain that way. So the transgender issue or claims, and as I said, I made no attempt to investigate the veracity of that claim because it's not the point of what I'm talking about, and I'll get to that. Has brought out one school of reaction, and that has been people who claim now at parkrun, despite removing these bits of statistical information in the hope of encouraging more people, is in fact discriminating against women and discouraging women from participating in sport and earning medals and so forth from their sporting activity. They say that because if a transgender person now holds a female record, then it relegates the female to second position, for example, and that's discouraging women from participating and discouraging young girls from participating. And I don't suggest that the issue of transgender athletes isn't a serious one. And the ability to earn a living from sport isn't, or for women, isn't some way impinged by that. And something that one of the people being interviewed in the UK claimed about that situation was that there are 11,000 men in the UK who earn their living from professional sport, and only 1,000 women. And in amongst those 1,000 women, there would be some transgender people. Now, the second school of thought that have been reacted negatively to the news are some of the hardcore, I guess, I don't want to say that in a derogatory way, but some of the hardcore runners who like to go to a new park run, so before they go, they look up the website